My mother told me, son, I'm gonna find you a woman. Just be patient, and she'll appear. One of a kind and extremely rare. She'll be a lot like you, and a woman that's true. And she closed her eyes as she said, goodbye. My mother died peacefully, knowing I'd find you eventually. She'd be proud to see my arms around you. There's nothing like being in love, romancing under the stars above. There's nothing like holding hands, strolling along a beach of white sand. When I reach for your hand, chills run up and down my spine, making me know you're mine, oh mine. I wake up to hear your voice, I go to sleep to hold you tight. Heart melts when you say hello, kiss my lips and I lose control. There's nothing like being in love, romancing under the stars above. There's nothing like holding hands, strolling along a beach of white sand. Now you got me swimming in a pool of love, and you got me floating on a cloud above. Run your fingers through my wavy hair, making me feel strong as a grizzly bear. Nothing on earth I wouldn't do. I'm so in love with you, how could I lose? There's nothing like being in love, romancing under the stars above. There's nothing like holding hands, strolling along a beach of white sand. There's nothing like being in love, romancing under the stars above. There's nothing like holding hands, strolling along a beach of white sand. I'm mother prayed to God I'd find you one day. Now you're here, don't go away. Strolling along a beach of white sand. There's nothing like being in love.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome, welcome. I should have let you ring the bell.
Should have given it to James to ring the bell.
James, we'll give you we'll give you your bell. How is it if I give James that green bell over there?
That bell over there?
Yeah. That would be great.
We're going to give James a bell.
That way you can show your family that you actually did
Give him a bell. He drove all the way down from North Carolina to see us.
No, he came down here for different reasons.
I know, but we kind of got him on the way down.
10 years, yeah, we got that.
We got him down.
We got him on the way to here.
And tonight's the Dolphins game. I know you don't like the Dolphins, but it's the Dolphins-Buffalo Bills game. I know you're going to pick the other team, but for all of us that like the Fins, the fish, The dolls.
Well, hopefully they don't get arrested and they'll play football.
Yeah, it's a whole other. We can talk about all that because that's all part of James's book. So it's an interesting concept. They didn't have a whole lot of down days, though, did they?
No, and this is, it's funny, the AFC this year, the East, has all of this, just have the same problems with short days and stuff like that. But the Dolphins I picked to win the division. I think that they're good enough. Again, if they stay on the field, they're not serving time or whatever.
You moved the buzzer from me, I see.
I did, because I know what you're going to do. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I got to tell you, when I got to coach football here in Florida, which is a different animal than up north. Up north, there's cold weather when we coached and everything else. Down here, it just seems to get hotter and hotter. And when you're on a field, you take a thermometer, and the field's like 120, 123 degrees. And you have all that equipment on, and you sweat, and you got to stay hydrated. So there was a firehouse across the way, and they came over, and they used to tell us, it's 130, 140 degrees. Maybe you don't want to practice today. They used to tell us, just to warn us. And if you look on the news, there's a lot of kids dying on the field.
Yep.
Right?
From the heat exhaustion.
So what they used to do is they used to put the sprinkler head on the fire hose, and they used to wet the kids down.
Hose them down.
Hose them down. And we used to take off the equipment and make them practice without equipment. Because you have to practice. If you don't practice, you look like you just did on Monday. You look rusty. The timing is off. Because that game is all about timing. I don't care what Silas says. He blew it by not letting the starters play. You don't let the starters play, that's what happens.
You going to watch the game?
Now that I know they're playing, absolutely. And you got the Dolphins, I got Buffalo. Here we go. You want to make a wager?
I got a wager for the Dolphins. It's Thursday night. It's their first. It's not the first game. It was a game on Sunday, but I guess it's their first Thursday night game.
They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is a good team, right? They're a good team.
Interesting.
So I think I'm going to bet my mouth, not my heart, because I think the Dolphins do win tonight. But do you want to make a wager?
What's our wager?
The loser brings coffee to the winner on the set tomorrow.
Okay, that's easy. You got it. Apparently, they think that's a lame wager because they're laughing in the production room.
Oh, you don't know how I want you to be dressed when you do it.
Oh, that's...
Oh, watch out now.
Wow.
You see my pirate over there?
I know. Your pirate made me teary-eyed today. And that was legitimate when I said that.
Why?
Because...
he's advancing.
He's doing so great that he was meeting with someone. And we said, can you imagine being able to get paid to work here? And he said, that would be my dream. And I'm like, that's just...
that's everybody's dream.
Amazing.
Wait. I'm going to say, you're going to
cry?
cry?
Make me cry again? Yeah. No, it has to come from my pirate over there. But to think like where we came from to where we are, that would be his dream to get paid to work here is incredible.
Well, I don't think he wants to. It doesn't matter if he gets paid here or anywhere. He's dressed like a pirate because if you want to hire our first segment today, you can hire him to do parties and all sorts of stuff. What I like about this is that he's showing creativity. And, of course, he's not shy. And we had a new producer came into the studio today before us, and he greeted him. Of course, the producer is now gone because he says, I can't work. This place is nuts.
This place is a little crazy this morning.
But it's good crazy. There's nothing wrong with crazy.
Creative madness.
Here's the funny thing. You had how many people slotted to come in today for interviews?
4.
All right, so we got 50. And I had one, so we had 5. So.
You win 3. Well, there's another one at 3. So
okay.
I got 1, 2, hopefully
I'm just
3.
thinking about the reliability of people coming in.
Well, my 3 are coming in. Where are your 2?
I only had 1.
Oh,
he came in this morning.
He did? Oh, that was yours. Okay, so I'm down 2.
Yours, mine, ours, it's all the same, yes.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's not for everybody.
It's all good.
And a lot of the weather yesterday played a big role in what's going on.
Oh, my gosh, the weather last night
Sarah Spiritual just made it under the wire. I'm going to tell you, God don't like ugly. I tell you that. Things happen. So last week, we got hit by lightning in this building.
Wow. Andy says he doesn't think we're ground.
Well, Andy should ground us then, because it blew out a television cable. And Gio says to me that it had nothing to do with the lightning. That cable is old. Did we have that cable when we first went up? Yes. To movies, to the Del Rey place. So that cable is over 6 years old. Do you know why there's 2 cables?
In case one goes bad.
No. Because it was
It's
built,
like having kidneys.
because 7 years ago you could not run an HDMI. You could not run it more than 10 feet, then 20 feet.
And we had
then
to like
100 feet.
piggyback them, right?
And you can't piggyback them because there's a delay in the piggyback. So in the old days, you used to run 2 wires like that with a converter from one end to the other, and you can go 200 feet. That is the last of the Mohicans, the Mohicans. That is the last. I cut it up. It's done. We have a new 8K cable. He said to me, "Are you insane? Why would you spend that kind of money?" Because I don't want to go back up there.
Well, we got someone coming to drill the hole for you.
Oh, thank you.
He says, that hole? I said, yes. He goes, what do you want it to do? I said, I would need you to go from this side of the wall to that side of the wall. He goes, that side? I said, okay. I need to put a wire through there. He goes, that hole? That's it. He's, okay, I can come back and do that
Because
for you.
he has the right drill bit.
He'll come back and do that for us.
He goes, zing, with a
I
real
said, I was going to
powerful
ask you yesterday, but you were on another mission yesterday.
I fell off the ladder and Nathan caught me.
I know. No, I was going to ask Andy yesterday, but he was on another mission in the parking lot.
Oh, and that mission, part 2 today. Did you see all the cars?
So they're working on all of that stuff. But we definitely have a full house, a full crew, working on sending out another newsletter. So check your inbox for that. I think behind the scenes, a day in the life of what goes on in this studio.
We also have an Aunt Futures segment that Casey's going to do about 388, so get prepared for that.
And our new producer, his mom said that anything we need, she's not an IT person, but anything else we need, she'd be more than happy to help.
I need money, I need dinner.
Volunteers, we need lots of things to
car
help the film
wash,
down.
I need...
Car wash, it was a monsoon outside.
Yeah, but the outside of my car's washed.
No, you need the
I
inside.
need the... You don't need pirates to clean cars?
Leave the windows open.
Sally's in the house.
Well, I had this idea for a barbecue tiki pirate.
Use
Plug
your
into
mic.
the mic. You got,
I had this
grab
idea.
the mic. Grab the... There you go.
I had this idea for a tiki bar that's pirate themed that also does barbecue.
Wait, the bar or the barbecue?
So it's barbecue.
And the tiki bar cooks for you?
Yeah, but it's all pirate themed.
Oh, is there a person there?
I don't know. This is just something I'm brainstorming.
He just thought of it.
I'm
I
just
got
watching
another
the
one for
tiki
you.
bar itself do the
I
barbecue.
got another one for you. So I'm going to dress up all the maidens, the females,
What is with you in clothes today?
in mermaid suits.
You definitely had some weird dreams last night.
Yeah, because Sally's
Sorry.
picture, the aliens came in it.
I'm
Every
like-
time they go to her house, they show up in mine.
I was going to say that. Was that not weird? It really was.
This is comment 2 on what women are wearing.
Yes, I want them to wear mermaid suits.
You
And
have
I
a
want to
tail?
do...
I do.
I
I
want,
actually do have a mermaid.
no, I want to get all the girls dressed in it, right? The ladies in mermaid suits. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the Pirates car wash, like you just said. And people are going to come up and they're going to pay for the wash and suits, and they're going to take pictures. You know where I got the idea from? The Miami Dolphins football team.
Yes, because we look exactly like the Miami
No,
Dolphins football
because
team.
I bought tickets to see the Jets and the Dolphins, and yes, the
Tell
Dolphins.
Casey she's going to be a mermaid and she's going to wash cars.
She'll do it.
Casey, you want to dress up as a mermaid and wash cars?
No.
No. And I guarantee you Jay's going to tell you no.
I never
As
said,
the quote, I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
I never
means
Hold
no.
on, I never said that they were going to wash the cars.
What are they
They're
gonna
going to
do?
be the street sign. They're going to be the come and.
Isn't that like a thing called like sexual harassment or
No,
something that's
called, that's
illegal?
called switching bait.
In the carnival, it was
and
called
everyone's
being
like,
a barker.
No. Why would you want to do that? And Jay's got her earbuds on, so she's not even listening to you over there.
Jay never listens to me. Earbuds in there.
All right, you ready to see what we got going on for today?
So you don't like my idea? Your ex made my idea right.
No, but I'm thinking about, because I think we all, did you travel last night with the aliens?
No.
I think I was not with you, Sally, but I was on this crazy car ride with my dad in my dream. And then we were trying, then you were there somehow. We were trying to figure out where to put, it was like, what was the movie where they're trying to find the American Treasure? Where to put the Virgin Mary. So there was another Virgin Mary statue that I was trying to place someplace, like in this church, this monastery. But I was with my dad. I don't know why I was with my dad in a rainstorm.
wait a
Like
minute,
two dreams.
Let me understand this. You're going from my car wash to these weird dreams. and I'm the one that needs help.
I'm thinking, I don't know. I was like,
Well,
crazy.
I
It
s-
must have been two separate dreams. It was in this huge monastery, and I said to you, this is where the other Virgin Mary is. It was like on American Treasure, and it was just like our Virgin Mary. But there was another one. It was like we were connecting all of the Virgin Mary statues in my dream.
Nathan, this is when you start to play that music that you have, that creepy music. You should
Isn't
when
that
she's talking.
interesting?
It was a
Not at
very
all.
active night because
They're
there is
so
no way
active.
my
For
camera.
those of you that don't understand, the two of these people,
We're connected.
they came from a planet called I don't know. And Russ Johnson, the leader
He's
of the
on his
pack,
way.
is on his way. So please pardon what you're about to hear. I have nothing
That
to
was
do
my
with that.
dream, thinking
Okay.
about, and
The
I said
pirate
to you,
has nothing to do with this dream. This is a whole
Well,
different
mine was
concept.
pretty incredible because my camera on my phone took a picture of. I
But
had
you're
the
not
door.
in it. If they had taken a
But
picture
there
of
was,
you,
I mean, it was incredible. The mirror was, there was nothing, there is no
Her phone was
reflection.
in the bathroom.
But in
does
the middle of the night,
public
it takes
know
a
about
picture.
you? Let's just want to know.
No, anybody out there that thinks the way we do, I should
Oh,
show
nobody
them.
thinks the way he is.
Sally, I
Trust
guarantee you, no one
man.
wants to feel the way we do
So you're going to replace my car wash story
with the Virgin Mary.
with this crazy
Let's
dream
take
of
a
yours.
poll. Freddie's car wash for women and mermaids. I know I've already lost on this one. Versus the Virgin Mary. That is why already, as it came out of my mouth, there's the poll for our caption.
And I bet you that the
Mermaid
Miami
car wash
Dolphin,
or the Virgin
the
Mary?
Miami Dolphin football team, they would do it.
Yes.
I parked into
Yes,
an
they
area
would.
that I wasn't supposed to park to see the game, and I was surrounded by all the Dolphins cheerleaders. So because we went in Sarah's car, she had the Porsche and the bar in the back. They came over and says, "Well, this is the Dolphins cheerleaders." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to leave?" They saw the bar and they said, "Not at all. Welcome." So there were 24 cheerleaders. When we got pictures, Freddie was running around. Oh my God, doing the selfies. So you're gonna replace that story with
The
this
Virgin Mary.
wild ride of
This
you.
wild
and-
ride of trying to find a place for the Virgin Mary in the monastery, yes. And she's like, we ended up putting her in a corner in this little alcove.
Was
in
she
this-
there?
Was
No,
I?
you were there.
No, I was busy taking
Oh
pictures.
no,
of
I
it.
wasn't there.
You were there with me, and I was like,
Oh, no,
just
I
in
wasn't
the
there.
morning show, I go, Freddie. I'm going, Freddie, don't you think we should put the Virgin Mary here because she looks just like the Virgin Mary in our studio?
Oh my! I was going to say it's a miracle she showed up here.
It's a good thing she showed up today. She's
You know,
here.
that whole dream. You see the painting?
Yes.
That painting fell on my face yesterday when I fell back.
And maybe we
and
need
they
to put it
caught me.
back up.
Or maybe it's
Maybe
talking
she
to you.
protected you.
Maybe she's talking to you.
Maybe.
I wanted to get a mannequin. There was an artist that we had in here last Friday, and she had these mannequins.
Yeah, I saw.
You saw that?
Yeah, but she was on our show.
Oh, I love it. I want to put the mannequin up there,
Mm.
and then I want to put a talking mouth on it.
I can do that.
I know you can. You're the one that gave me the idea. But Dawn said no. She said it was creepy. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you're scared.
James,
of
imagine
spirits
hanging a
in here.
mannequin from the a wall
I like the
I agree.
Dolphins cheerleader thing
versus
better.
the Virgin Mary. That's what I figured. I think I
That
lost
is the
on that one.
man,
Ring your bell, James.
the man, the myth, and the legend. Thank you very much, James.
All
Thank
right,
you.
why don't we take a commercial break? We're going to come back. We're going to talk to James Dixson. He's an author of Restoring Light. Interesting book. I'm letting him tell you all about it. I had the pleasure of reading it over the weekend. I brought it back for you so you can read it as well. Sally Bernard's in studio. We've got Mad Mike. You know, I kind of said we can call him, I can't say it on air. Anyway,
Eminem
no. I told Danny, she's like, oh, you made it funny.
with the peanut butter middle.
Got pirate section. I don't know what else we've got. And Russ Johnson is on the way. So more to come. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Brooklyn Cafe TV for exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Like and subscribe to that channel, as well as Ant Media Productions. Find all of the shows we produce there, including Call Me Zena, Making Money with Laura Sanders, and so many others. More to come. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
Ant Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
Give me the mozzarella. 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 Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Wings, we also sell them. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Now, I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more.
Call 800-920-3819.
Frank A. Ruffolo, a renowned author and screenwriter known for his books such as 10048, Blue Falcon, Memoir of a Soldier, and his latest, Samuel of Sarah. Check out his website, frankaruffolo.com, for more info or purchase his books on Amazon.
Amp Media Futures Foundation is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to providing college students with immersive opportunities in media production, marketing, business skills, and communication.
Interns will learn professional workflow skills in editing, video and radio broadcasting, public relations, digital media, graphic curriculum, and access to equipment to make a positive impact.
Amp Media Productions is a full-service production house with a variety of shows ranging from the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a very busy Wednesday.
Sarah Spiritual.
Right here on the Oldies station, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
Call me Zena.
Teach by example, and that's what I try to do all the time, to teach by example.
You know, Artist Loft.
Using that term more. Yeah, lofties, yeah.
Good. And Gypsy Soul.
They love music. It's like their favorite thing to go to.
I teach like preschool up to 12th grade.
Yeah, nice.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Amp Media Productions. Please like and subscribe to all of our shows.
Order me a first class champagne, please.
Dying comfort.
Yeah, that's good. We offer opportunities to excel in the field of TV film production, social media management, video editing, set design, graphic design, sound engineering, journalism, and many more useful tools to help you land a career in the media business.
To volunteer or be a part of our team, or to make a donation of any size, please visit us at ampfutures.org. Help us to empower college students to create a positive impact with immersive hands-on experiences in media production. Help us amplify the future.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome back. And you too can help solidify the future. Amp Futures Foundation is looking for any assistance it can to help these kids get an equal footing and a fair shot at what's going on right now in our community. And I'm also happy to announce that Anthony, who has put together the newsletter, which was spectacular, we're going to be doing in...
He wants to do weekly, I think.
Weekly. He wants to do it in the week of.
Amazing.
But if you have a business and you want to be highlighted in our newsletter, just give us a call at 866-224-5422 or stop by and talk to Sally and the aliens And you two can be in the newsletter to talk to people. Why are you laughing?
I looked at Sally's
I
face.
suddenly looked up. I heard my name.
I'm using you as a prop. Like,
You ready?
That's
James,
not-
you ready to ring your bell?
James, ring the bell.
We've got James Dixson joining us. He's the author of Restoring Light, Overcoming a Dark Past. JT Dixson is what it is penned by, but he is joining us all the way from North Carolina, of course, on his way to the Dolphin game tonight. But thank you so much for joining us.
Go Fins.
He actually drove in.
And I just did a similar drive, and you do this regularly, though, don't you?
Pretty regularly, yes.
How do you stay
Get
awake?
closer to your mic.
I don't.
I don't.
You drive sleeping?
I pull over to these things called rest stops and take a nap.
You know, they have a new thing now.
What's
You
that?
let the car drive itself. It's a gizmo. It's called Blue Angel or something. Maybe, what a name.
If
Blue
I sell
Angel.
enough of these books, I'll probably get that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Give us some background on you, because you were currently retired, but you had a busy career.
Yeah, I had a very busy career, a very satisfying career. I'm JT Dixon, the author of Restoring Light. Appreciate Dawn and Freddie inviting me down. I worked for Georgetown University Child Development, so I was in psych for about 20 years, substance abuse counselor, and then I changed careers. I became an IT recruiter. So I did that for equally number of years. And after I retired, I looked at, I'm in a unique position. I'm a baby boomer, and my great-great-grandmother was born in 1880. So she was alive during my lifetime. She passed when I was 4 years old. And I was looking at some pictures from that era. And if you look at pictures from the era of slavery, no one's smiling. No one, obvious reasons, no one's smiling. And then when I looked at the picture of my great-grandmother, and my grandmother was in there, my aunties from that era was in the picture, and they wasn't smiling. So I started looking at the trauma, because my former career in psych, trauma, people tend to go quiet. It's very difficult to talk about, and I felt like there are things in families that should be discussed, not swept under the carpet. A lot of African American families, they have this saying, what goes on in this house stays in this house. But what that does, it prevents people from speaking about the trauma, getting help with the trauma that occurred in slavery. Now, the wonderful thing that I think, I've gotten feedback that the thing that people like about my book that is different than other books about slavery, I think we are aware of the gruesome nature of it and the tragedies that occurred. But my book talks about the resilience of a community of people, how they were able to unify, how they were able to be resilient and progress in spite of the things that they had to experience. Translated to today, whatever a person is going through, I feel like my book will help them look at whatever the trauma is, whatever the thing is that caused you to go quiet and you have not been able to speak about it. I have a workbook in the back that will help you speak about or talk about or write journal entries about things that you're experiencing internally, because I think when we hold things internally, they really tear us apart. So my book not only speaks about the tragedies of slavery, the hangings, everything that occurred during that era. It talks about how the people of that era stuck together and figured out how to progress in spite of.
The interesting thing I wanted to ask you, was Ezekiel your relative?
No, Ezekiel. The reason why I did that, that's an excellent question. I am clergy, and I want everybody from every religion to read it, because I'm not one religion focused. I really believe religion is a tower of Babel in the earth. Everybody's saying it this way, this way, this way, but they all have the same objective, in my opinion. So Ezekiel, because I am a Christian, I wanted a Christian character. So Ezekiel and Sarah, that was my little way of slipping it in without, so delete this part so people won't know. Yeah, so that was my way of slipping in my religious belief, but not throwing it in your face.
I kept waiting for you at the end of the book for you to say, well, Sarah was my great-great-grandmother, because you had told me, right, you knew your great-great-grandmother.
Yeah.
Was she I hate calling anyone a slave. Was she a slave?
Well, the interesting part, and I'm going to explain this in book 2, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, which ended slavery, but when Andrew Johnson took over, he tore everything apart. So my second book talks about the destruction of Reconstruction, because it actually took on a different look, but it was still slavery. So she was born a slave.
But she was born where they were landholders, crop sharers, right?
Yeah, sharecroppers, yes, yeah.
So where essentially they owned the land, but at the end of the book you talk about what that really means.
Yeah, that they went into these labor contracts, or they had to rent the land pretty much. They said they owned them, but they owed the master so much. So they only got enough to survive, and the money and the crops still went to the master. So they were still exploited. So it went under a different name to make it look a little better, but it was the same thing.
It's so interesting, because I don't know about you when you went to school, but as I'm reading your book, I realized my history was so whitewashed, and I didn't realize it was whitewashed then. And now I'm, almost 58 years old, I'm realizing
Exactly.
that sharecroppers was like, at some point, once the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, you think suddenly, oh, we're free. No one even knew, right? It gets signed. How do you even get the information?
Yeah.
There was no phone. There was no internet.
Right.
It wasn't like we're done now with slavery. So by the time that happens, and then now you're shareholders, so now they're owning the land. They never once talked about you owe the master the money because he bought this, this, and this.
You know, when I went to visit South Carolina and Georgia, I'm from the Bronx up north.
Right.
So you got to stage this correctly, because we learn from history books what we were taught in school.
Right.
My 42 years in New York, when I came, I've never visited these states before, but I decided I'm driving down from Pennsylvania. Let me check out and see what's going on. And the feel is so different for a northerner. Mm-hmm. I'm a northerner. The feel. So we went on a sightseeing tour because I wanted to see the city, South Carolina. And the guy's from Boston. He ain't from South Carolina. He's from Boston. But he now is going through this whole transition of his mindset. I'm talking about present day.
Right.
About what's going on. Yeah. I visited the forts of the revolution, the Civil War, that was taken over by the South and the North, and the things that go on back and forth. And we talked to an author who happens to be a lovely lady, but you can also sense that people are on edge talking about the Civil War.
Yeah.
Because of everything that went down. Everything's about property, sharecropping, the whole thing. So the history of my family, the name Santori used to have an I from Italy, because they were in the Caribbean slave trade. And the two brothers had a big fight because the guy with the Y, which is what I have now, did not want slave trade anymore, but the one with the I did. So if you go to California, if you go west of the Mississippi, Santori was in the slave trade. East of the Mississippi, they were not. And I'm surprised about where we landed in the Civil War. I'm trying to find out.
Wait till you read his book, because in the book it even talks you label. Now I understand your background in psychology.
Yeah.
So many countries, what they use slaves for.
Right.
It's the amount of money that was made off of people's hard work as slaves.
Because they were considered property.
Across the globe.
Right.
Is unbelievable.
So people, that was never told to us. We thought it was America. And actually, America did not profit as much as some of the other countries.
I mean, you're talking
so
about England.
it has to come out.
Spain, England,
Portugal. Yeah.
It's fascinating to read the book.
I mean, you know, if you look at people that were taken advantage of, and it's funny because my mother's side is from the Caribbean Indians. You know, that's on that side.
Mm-hmm.
My father's side came from Italy. So those two that they even met is kind of crazy to begin with. But it leaves a lot of gaps, a lot of openings of questions. And sometimes you don't like some of the answers you hear.
Right.
Like I have people in my family that were big time slave traders. I'm talking about, I think I showed you one time in Italy what we owned in property. I think I sent it to you one time. It was tremendous.
Yeah.
But it was all based on the slave trade.
Yeah.
And you sort of sit there and you go, you don't know this because it's the other side of the family. I don't even know them.
And you touch on really sensitive topics like physical abuse for women.
Yeah.
How they treated women and what that was like. And it made me stop and think what Chuck, what any married couple would think if their wife had to do this. And you have to do this because you are a slave. You are considered property. And when your wife is taken for that moment in time over and over and over again, you can't say no because for fear of your life and your children's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And things that I never stopped and even thought about that you bring to light in this book, I'm like, he couldn't do anything.
Right.
It is.
And another part of that, bringing it to modern day, I think as a race, that practice of just deal with it, there's nothing you can do about it, just deal with it, is still prevalent today with a lot of things that go on. Just deal with it. And I think it's time to stop just dealing with it and address it. And we don't have to fight about it. Let's just see if we can come to some agreement on how to make this thing better. And Freddie, you said something very interesting. A letter was changed in your name,
yes,
and it caused a big fight. I have a cousin. His dad changed his last name to Dickson, opposed to Dixon.
Uh-huh.
And that caused so much trauma, really. And he hasn't had a chance to talk about it. But just that one little piece, and when you talk about the abuse that the women had to endure and then the husband have to sit back and watch it, there are a lot of traumas that have not been discussed. And that's why I put the workbook, even if you do it just on your own. And Dawn, I appreciate your feedback, and I really appreciate being invited to speak on this, because this is not black history. This is American history. When I worked in the psych hospital, one of the units I worked on was the women that were sexually abused, right? But the other unit I worked on were rapists. Wow. So they needed therapy, and the one that was raped needed therapy. I think we all have ancestors from that period that something has trickled down. And I think it's
traumas.
There's some traumas that have trickled down. There's some behaviors that have trickled down. I look at my family and I can see stuff that my grandmother did, my aunt did, my mom did. You know, I can just see them. And they're wonderful people. They've accomplished a lot. We have the big family gatherings and all that good stuff. But some of the things that I feel that are following the family from slavery, I have 3 daughters. I wanted the buck to stop. You know, let's deal with it. And I'm getting feedback that my family is not the only one that can benefit from this. I think everybody can benefit from the subjects in the book, the same way you were able to, it was able to open your eyes that, wow, I didn't know this. No, because we couldn't write it.
And then think about even the Holocaust, right? There's so many similarities to that for our Jewish people.
Exactly.
That what happened you dealt with. The rapes between the SS and the women there. Same thing that just happened in Israel and the hostages. I mean, these things that are perpetuated that we don't stop. For whatever crazy reason, we're not stopping it, and it's continuing and isn't talked about. But the traumas for the anti-Semitism, the racism, it's multicultural.
Yeah.
And your book resonates with all of this. I'm sorry, Sally.
No, it's okay. I was just going to bring up, because you had mentioned England. I was born in London, and I went to school in England. I'm going back a long time, too.
Yeah.
I do not remember them ever discussing this. When I got here, and then programs like Roots and other programs came on, they never talked about what was happening.
And that's the one. It's difficult to talk about.
Yes.
Right. It's very difficult to talk about, and even in the community, there are people. There are blacks that I talk about. I bring this book up, and they adamantly, I don't want to talk about it. So it was so gruesome, and it was so.
Why do you think? It's just denial, pushing it under the rug?
It's pushing it under the rug. Things are okay, but they're really not okay. It's baffling to see, but I think healing has to start somewhere, and I think conversations can heal a lot. It might not heal everything, but at least personally, and this is what the book has done for me, personally, I've been able to see patterns. That's part of my career, to look at behaviors. I've been able to see patterns and do things. Maybe I can keep this from my daughters because I'm seeing this. When all of our aunts and grandmother was living, we had the big family gatherings, just wonderful gatherings. And then when that generation died, we no longer had the gatherings.
That's what's happening right now to me.
What is causing that, right? What I am assuming, because I have no facts to, there are things that occurred that are not being discussed. But some members know, and they don't want to be the one to talk about it, so let's just disperse. We are totally dispersed. Christmas gatherings, birthdays, none of those things. So I think something needs to be done because the family is really taking a hit.
Well, when your family, sons and daughters, get married, they marry into another set of norms. They have their own family on the other side. Your son is beginning to find out that he's got to go spend time with you, then her family. And what begins to happen is, depending on who you're marrying, they have their own traumas. Mm-hmm. The Cubans have their own traumas. If you're marrying into the Jewish state, you got your own traumas. So in my family, we used to have 14 and 15 brothers, uncles, and whatever, and aunts from my father and my mother's side. And the Christmases were crazy. We're down to none.
Right.
And their kids know nothing about us.
Right. Exactly.
The tradition of who we were has disappeared. And this is why I believe that things don't get better, because you don't reenact and learn from your mistakes. We didn't learn from World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan. We didn't learn the lesson because we're still being stupid today.
Yeah.
So we think that being stupid is okay because it gives you justification for doing it. But it's not right. No. Being wrong is wrong.
It's wrong.
And you know, I was an altar boy in the Catholic religion for years. And the one thing that I learned from all that was you got to love one another. I didn't care how you got there.
Yeah, right.
If you want to be in another religion, be in another religion.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
It doesn't make a difference, but respect one another. And we've lost that.
We've definitely lost that, and it's I think it's an easy fix if people decide to fix it.
If they decide it's the hard part.
Yeah. I mean,
The
we
fix
have
is
more. We have more in common than not. I'm listening to things that you're saying, Freddie, and it's the same thing that's happening in my family. You becoming aware of some of the things that happen. I'm hearing this from everybody.
Well, think Sally didn't even learn this, but if you
Didn't
think
learn
about,
it, right.
we settled America in the late 1700s. Where'd we come from? Who settled us?
Yeah.
And yet, right, it came from Britain. We settled through the States, through the slavery, and that's not even spoken about. But England used the same slaves.
But going back into that from England,
crazy.
My school, I went to a boarding school, and I'm Jewish, and they had a quota for the amount of Jewish girls that could be in the school. I had no idea what they were even talking about. I knew I was Jewish. They allowed me in with 5 other girls. How does that make sense?
Yeah.
But only because we talk about it more. I'm not religious, but that's nothing to do with it. It's my birth.
It's
when I was
cultural
born.
traumas that we all
And
have.
that's the reason I didn't. A couple of people, you're a preacher, you didn't put religion. No, I want everybody to read this wherever they are, and form your opinion on how to. If you don't fix the world, fix your family.
All right, why don't we take a commercial break? When we come back, let's talk about the fixes, because I know you had told me that the whole premise of this book is not necessarily to talk about what happened, because we know,
Right.
but some of us didn't realize what it was. But how do we move forward, and how do we change social norms? So more to come on the other side of this commercial break with JT Dixson and Sally Bernard, Restoring Light. More to come, and we'll be right back.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created a foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you. Call 800-978-4815. That's 800-978-4815. Call now. what if this happened to you when you're alone? With MedGuard Alert's new Care Watch, you can connect with medical professionals instantly, 24/7. No cell phone required. This life-saving medical device acts as a phone as well as a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And if you have Medicare or Medicaid, you may qualify to get yours free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Good morning. Today is September 12th, 2024, and these are the events and dates of things that happened. 1972, Hopalong Cassidy rides off into his last sunset. 1951, Sugar Ray Robinson wins black belt. 1953, John F. Kennedy marries Jacqueline Bouvier. All right, Barry White is born.
Look how far you're coming with those. Nice job.
You can put your ending. Good stuff.
Very nice.
I was watching Muhammad Ali. He fought against, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was a prisoner. They call him, it was a convict against Muhammad Ali just after he had come out of jail. And this guy was a beast. And I had never seen Muhammad Ali fight. And he was Cassius Clay at the time. They called him Muhammad Ali, but he changed his name. I've never seen him fight this kind of fight. He gave up the first 5 rounds and just took a beating. He let this guy just tire himself out. And then Muhammad, it wasn't even called the rope-a-dope yet. It was at the very first or second fight he had when he came out of jail because he didn't go to Vietnam.
I know the name. I got the picture. I can't even
The
think
gentleman,
of it.
he was a big,
Yeah.
my God, he was a rock. He makes
It'll come to me. I have the picture of him standing over him.
He makes Mike Tyson look like a little boy. My goodness, this guy's a beast. And Ali says, I'm going to beat him in 8 rounds. And it took 11 rounds, and he didn't come up for the 11th, and he just beat him into submission. But Ali took a punch. He went to jail. He took a punch. And Ali was a big man. What was he, 6'4"?
6'4", yeah.
6'4", he had the reach and everything else. Yeah. But Ali wasn't built like a monster. He was strong, and he hit you. When he hit you right. It's just part of that whole historic thing that he put up there as well. Just these triggers, this guy. He triggers me, Mr. Pirate over there.
You're just mushy. You're just like this mush ball. I know.
Well, have you guys ever heard of Chuck Webner?
Chuck Webner.
He was the guy that was the inspiration for Rocky Balboa in real life.
You have to hold your mic. Rocky Balboa in Rocky?
Yeah, so Rocky Balboa was based on a real guy named Chuck Webner, who did a fight with Muhammad Ali as a promotional thing. He was a self-taught power boxer.
And that was part of the movie. In the second movie, they had a promotional thing.
Right.
It goes to show you. You can learn from history. You can learn from history things that are entertaining, like Muhammad, which I thought was the greatest. You can learn that, right? But we can't learn to get along with one another because that must take work.
Well, how do we fix it? We're talking about restoring light from the darkness. How do we fix the past and make it a better place for our kids and our grandkids?
Well, I think, Dawn, I think the first part, I guess, promote, is to read this version of what happened, because it's closer to the truth than what we have received. And it talks about things that we didn't know. There are things in here that I didn't know. I thought Reconstruction was the end of slavery until I researched it and said, whoa, it wasn't.
They did away with it.
They wiped it out as soon as Lincoln was assassinated.
Yep.
So I think reading a book such as this, and there's some other very well-written books talking about the resilience and the positive factors. It's easier to have conversation about positive things than negative things. So start the conversation and do a self-examination, get into groups, focus groups with people that want to discuss it, become involved in the community, be outspoken against injustices, but do it in a constructive way where we can effect change, opposed to just fighting. We're pretty good at fighting. We are pretty good at disagreeing. But I think there are some common things that we all can agree on, and let's start there, towards healing, towards loving. I mean, simple loving one another is not that difficult. Finding the good in everybody that's on this earth, because that's really what I wear my USA shirt, because that's what makes America a wonderful place. You have more people coming here than leaving here. So it must be something good here. Let's make it better. Let's talk about the difficult topics and come to conclusions and resolutions to move forward.
And be nice to one another. How difficult is that?
Would you say it should start definitely, first of all, with the children in the schools? Because it just came to me, because if they don't know, they're just copying everybody else.
Right.
I mean, it's not so you had a lot in you've gone through, but in the Jewish religion too, there's a tremendous amount that happened, denying the Holocaust. Perhaps these kids didn't know because they were never taught it.
Right.
Yeah, but look, now in this great state of Florida, they're changing history books.
Which is
terrible.
I didn't know that.
They're taking things out of the history
I didn't
books.
know that. That's terrible.
So, I think exactly the history, and I wrote this. One person read it, and they said it was very easy to read.
It is.
And I wanted it to be easy to read, because not to throw off on the younger generation, but this was my thinking when I wrote the book. The younger generation, they ride in the driveway with their helmets on, right? So they're a little softer than we were. We were riding on the highway with no helmet, so we could take a little more. So I wanted to write it a little gently. Because some of the things that occurred in slavery, I feel like if I put it in the book, that didn't happen, and they'll put the book down. So I wanted to write it so people will keep the book in their hand and read it, and they can go back and research how bad it really was. But I'm just giving you a taste of it, and let's move forward from
There's
there.
got to be traumas on both sides also. Those families that own the lands, that were the slave owners, generationally, what that must feel like, what traumas have passed down, what secrets have passed down on both sides. Because generations now, what do they say? We cannot live for the sins of our fathers. How many years ago, how many generations have passed to that, and what that must feel like? If anything, we don't know, because you never hear those sides.
Yeah.
Who would admit that?
And just think of the women that had to watch their husbands go into the slave quarters,
Horrific.
Yeah.
I got to visit some forts in Savannah that were built by slaves, and they left their fingerprints. So now they've become archived, because the fingerprints are still on the bricks that were made. And then there was also the North put this. They had the Black Army that invaded Savannah and took that fort over. And they have a picture of them still in there. And none of them was smiling. You're absolutely right. None of them was smiling.
There's no smiles.
If you can't learn from history, if you can't look at what was done incorrectly, then don't. And go on to change today.
Yeah.
Take the change forward. And I beg of you, if you have children, which I just found out today, it costs $240,000 to raise a child till they're 18. $240,000. So less millennials and X's are having children because of that number. But if you're going to have children, educate yourself so you can educate your kids. When I used to coach, I used to peel those parents away from the kids, because all they wanted to do was win, and that wasn't what sports was about. It's not about the $1 million contracts that you can sign. That's a byproduct. But teach them, because through sports, through other venues, through being a pirate, you can teach kids to love one another and be right. You ever seen kids when they're together and they're young? You ever seen the pictures, and they don't care who you are. They don't care what color skin you are. That's my best friend, and they hang out. Joey is showing that now. So he doesn't care what color his friends are or anything like that. He doesn't know anything about anything. And you learn hate. You learn hate. It is a teachable crime. And I don't want to hear, I didn't teach him that. Yes, you did. Something in your house taught that. And you got to stop it. You got to be mature about it, and you got to get educated. So maybe you read and learn something. But be real about it. Because when they grow up to be this age and that age, they got no fighting chance, man.
Yeah.
They got no chance to overcome all this hate, overcome work, overcome school, overcome depression, and everything else that's going on right now.
It's so difficult because you turn the news on and then you see all these wars. Kids they're watching it, but it starts with children. They're not born this way.
If we took every,
Right.
if
of
we
course not.
take
They only
every
by learned
child,
behavior.
Sally, if we take every child from the age of 5 and below and put them on 100,000 planes and send them to all these war zones to march, just them alone, what do you think will happen?
They become the very thing that that you didn't want them to become.
But if they march, do you think they're going to get fired on? Or you going to put your guns down because you got these 5-year-olds or less coming your way? No parents, no adults, no race, no color, just children. You're gonna shoot a child? Really?
Well, if you listen to the war that's going on right now, apparently there
I
is
will
a race
put
that
them
doesn't
out there.
care.
I
It's
gotta tell
terrible.
you, there's a verse in the Bible, I don't remember what it says, but Jesus used to say, send me into the war and then we'll stop. You take all these kids and you put them out. Remember when we talked about I-95, about marching down and shutting it down?
Yep.
It doesn't have to take a big act to do it, but if you took every child in the world and you put them on a fighting field and just say to them, hold up signs says, stop fighting, then you got a choice, man. You just got hit in the face with, maybe what I'm doing is wrong. Maybe what I'm doing is wrong. Maybe you can stop killing one another.
I think we can do better. You know, that's the purpose of my book. I think we can do better, and if people don't know what happened,
they're gonna do it again.
They're gonna repeat it.
You've got another book coming out?
Yeah, my second book should come out November. From Chains to Change, CHAINS to Change.
I love that.
And he's waiting. Here's the kicker to see who wins the election. Because
I have
two
two
versions.
Yeah, I have two editions of based on the election of how we affecting change and how we've. My book series is just talk about resilience. It's just talk about facing what you had to face and making the best of it, creating communities. So all of it is showing the stuff that was left out of our history books. So it's a very positive twist. And then we've had one black president and a chance of having another one. But even if it doesn't, if Kamala does not become president, she's vice president. So still, we have made progress, right?
Yep.
We've done some things right. Let's just jump on that and keep it going, and don't feel threatened by the other person.
But there's such a divide, even with that. This shouldn't even be a topic. It should be a human being,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And politics, and I don't really want to discuss
Yeah.
politics,
Yeah.
but it's such a division.
It's a division.
It's
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I saw the debate and I saw her approach. I got to cover the DNC, and everybody that was in the building came out with this new philosophy. You know, you don't want to go back towards hate. You don't want to, and I'm not saying that is what Trump does. I'm talking about from yesterday backwards. I'm talking about all the hate that has been going on around us with the wars and the Putins and the this. I'm talking about hate, pure hate and evil. And you're right. You know, we didn't learn anything from World War II.
No.
We didn't learn anything from Vietnam. We didn't learn nothing from being just plain stupid.
We're better than that.
We are better. We should be.
We should be better
We
than
should
that.
be.
Yeah.
You know,
Not to interrupt, but I have this philosophy, which is we have a duty, a responsibility to be better than we were yesterday.
True.
And it's funny because your kids will always do something to impress their parents.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? I want to impress my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Well, why doesn't the parent impress their kids?
Yeah.
Why don't we do something
Yeah.
to impress your child?
Yeah.
And do something nice for a change. Try that philosophy.
And that's one of the things I did mention to the kids. With my girls, of course, there's a huge gap there between what I was raised to do and them. Their music was different, but I never talked negative about their music. I allowed them to play their music, and I would play Marvin Gaye when we rode in the car. So it was more allowing them to express themselves opposed to attacking them and understanding them. So excellent relationship with my girls, and I think carried it outside of the family. Respect the difference, learn the difference, and you don't have to bash the difference. Embrace it, and let's move forward.
How do people get your book?
Pardon me?
How do we get your book?
You can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or you can go to Restoring Light on Facebook and order it directly from me. That way you would get a signed copy.
And the next time you come to town, I want you to do a seminar in here, and let's have a group of people who have maybe a different opinion. Maybe
and
they
that would be wonderful.
I love the
hear.
challenge. Bring them on.
Yeah.
Bring them, because you know the way to restoring the light is by taking the dark and just saying, "Come, bring
Yeah.
it." Let me hear what you have to say. Then maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Educate me.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
a wonderful, wonderful.
I think that's because it doesn't have to be an argument.
That's
it doesn't
right.
have to be a fight. It
That's
just
right.
has to be a discussion.
Exactly. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I think we're going ahoy matey.
Yes,
We're
ahoy
gonna-
matey.
Ahoy matey. We're going to talk to Sally. James, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
such
inviting
a pleasure.
me. Thank you.
How long you in town for?
Sunday, Saturday is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
So
You going to the game tomorrow?
I'm going to the game tonight.
Tonight. And who are you rooting for?
Dolphins.
Just
Dolphins.
asking.
Dolphins.
But you're from Carolina. You know
I-
Dolphin. Ain't no fish up there.
I've been a Dolphin guy since Mercury Morris. Matter of fact, I'm wearing Mercury Morris jersey since the 70s.
Mercury Morris. Oh, is he alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah.
Is Mercury going to be at JC's golf tournament for Doug Flutie up in January? I
Yeah.
think he is.
Yeah.
With JoJo?
Yes,
Yeah.
with JoJo, yes.
Yeah.
We're going to meet Mercury. Oh, you got to come with us.
Oh, I would love to.
We're going to be up in Melbourne Beach at a golf tournament with Doug Flutie for autism. His
I
son
would
is
love
autistic.
to. Maybe he'll sign my jersey.
Oh, he'll do more than that.
Yeah.
He'll play around and golf with you because they got all this stuff going on. We're going to get into that in a
Let
little
me
while.
know. Yeah.
All right, let's take a commercial break. More to come, and we'll be right back.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, your family, your business, your peace of mind, you need reliable fire protection. Introducing All Fire Extinguisher Depot, Fire Extinguisher Service. Our certified technicians ensure your extinguishers are always ready to respond to emergencies. Before and after, we leave your fire safety in top-notch condition. Join the many satisfied clients who trust All Fire Extinguisher Depot for fire extinguisher service. Because when it comes to fire safety, there's no compromise. Contact All Fire Extinguisher Depot at 786-704-2750 to get your extinguisher service today. Your safety is our priority. That's at 786-704-2750. All Fire Extinguisher Depot, protecting what matters.
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to arwhome.com now.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call. So please call right now.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
The owners of Amp Media Productions and the Brooklyn Cafe show, Don and Freddie S., are excited to announce the launch of its new nonprofit educational charity, the Amp Media Futures Foundation. This foundation gives college students the tools that they need by providing them hands-on learning experiences in business, marketing, communication, and media creation. To donate or volunteer, contact AMP2 Media Productions by email at info@ampfutures.org.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Now it's time for Pirate's Life with Captain Mad Mike. Hello, folks, and welcome to Pirate's Life with Captain Mad Mike. I'm here at the Dead Man's Tavern to tell you about fascinating pirate history. Pirate is someone who robs on the water, and they've been around since Greek and Roman times. What exactly is a privateer? A privateer was a privately funded ship or vessel that the government, a king or queen of a nation, or wealthy business people would fund to work on the government's behalf as part of a Now, privateers that after the war, when they were those rights were canceled, they were out of a job. And so it became so profitable that they started raiding the ships in the Caribbean. And that brings us to the second type of pirate, called buccaneers. What is a corsair? A corsair is a pirate that operates in the Mediterranean, which is basically Greek, Turkish, Islamic, like the Barbary corsairs, right? In fact, one of the most famous corsair at the time was a guy by the name of Hayden Barbosa Rosa and his brother, aka Redbeard, who Barbosa in Pirates of the Caribbean is slightly based on. And Jack Sparrow is based on a corsair, Mediterranean Islamic corsair named Jack Wind. So, there's that. But there's also been pirates in the China Sea, and still around today.
Ring your bell. And there you have it. And let's go to Mr. Pirate here. What do you have in the chest there, big boy?
Well, these
hold your mic, because they're going to say, Mike!
So here in the chest, we have all the jewelry that I've had for my travels.
Oh. And any fingernails or fingers attached to it?
Not yet.
What's your latest acquisition? Nice.
Cleopatra's chain?
Probably. I've also got got earrings, tiara. I've even got cloak pins.
Now, I learned one of the things from Mad Mike here is that the Vikings were pirates.
Yes.
I did not know that.
In fact, they're the guys that invented the keel in shipbuilding, so that would allow them to go through the water faster. But they were also designed their boats so they would sit higher in the water, so they could go up rivers and attack the inland settlements.
And is it true that the Vikings were the first one that discovered America?
Yes, they made it 300 years before Columbus did.
300 years.
They made it all the way to Newfoundland.
Now, how do we know that? How do we know that that's true?
They found settlements in Newfoundland.
And there were found settlements of this country there?
No, in Newfoundland, it's right off the coast of Canada.
That's amazing. Did you know that?
In fact, Greenland and Iceland's names were part of a land scam that one of the Vikings did. If you notice, Greenland is all ice and Iceland is all green. They purposely named it that way so that all the people went to the ice one and not the green one.
I don't know. If someone was called Iceland, I wouldn't go. I'd think it was cold all the time.
Right.
But I guess not. Again, how do people even communicate? We did not have phones or the internet or texting or nothing.
Well, also the Vikings, the steel in their swords are comparable to our construction steel today. And they were using it 1,000 years ago.
You know where that came from, Sally?
Yes.
The aliens.
Well, they actually were trading with the guys in India.
India's on the other side.
Right, so they would actually take the Volga River route during the Dark Ages, go all the way down to the India, trade their goods for the crucible steel ingots that they would make down there, and bring them back to make their swords. Wow.
Now, I read that it made sense that the Vikings were first because if you look at how we travel to Europe, the globe, they go on the shorter spectrum. They go on the short ride north. So they'll fly through towards Canada and then go across that way.
Yeah, they would stay within sight of land on the sea.
So that makes sense that the Vikings, instead of the Spaniards, came across, because the Spaniards are in the middle of the earth, and they had a longer ride. The Vikings would beat you like 3 or 4 months ahead
because they would have all the settlements along the route.
Exactly.
He's got so much information in his head.
No, I listen to what he says. He's pretty good. And we're going to be doing the pirate segment on Thursday. I'm trying to expand it to see who wants to come in dressed up, and we'll put the kids on the air.
Danny said she'll come in dressed up.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a mermaid or something, no?
I'll bring costumes.
Danny said she'll come dressed up. Is all.
What about you? No, Grumpy, you wouldn't be.
Well,
mermaid?
There were women pirates too.
She's grumpy.
She's grumpy.
And in fact, the women pirates were more successful than the guys.
Of course, it was less
because they had a nice wardrobe.
Well, actually, one of the more famous ones. She actually had about 3,000 ships and about 40,000 people working for her at one time.
Who was it?
Her name was Qing Shi.
From China?
Yeah. And actually, she's represented in the third Pirates of the Caribbean film as the lady with the spectacles.
Yeah.
Why do they have many pirates are portrayed with a patch? Is
Well,
that a famous pirate?
There's a story for that.
Yeah, so for example, it was actually some versions because they were changing to the light conditions above and below deck.
Okay.
But also, injuries happen, so, they had to replace
But the first part is real, because I learned this in St. Augustine. So if you walk from outside and you go to the lower deck of a ship, for the first couple of minutes you can't see.
Okay.
So what they did was they covered one eye, moved the patch over to the other eye. Now you can see in the dark.
Wow.
Quicker.
I had an intelligent question there.
That was a good question,
No idea.
Sally.
I asked the
no
same
idea.
question up in St. Augustine.
I was
and he
told
gave me
to
the
ask
answer.
that.
But also, they had codes of conduct that they all agreed to.
Okay.
So that, when they would elect a captain by popular vote, they would all sit down and agree to vote to follow a loose code of conduct. Everything from like keeping their weapons in working condition to how much everybody got per raid. What happens if someone got injured? They would get a compensation. Keeping weapons in working order. How to solve an argument. And if you broke any of these codes or acted out of the code, the worst offenders would be just dropped on an island, a few supplies, a pistol, and adios.
What about walking the plank? I know a lot about pirates.
They never did that. They did something
didn't?
a lot
Oh,
worse
okay.
called keel hauling.
Oh, yeah, put you in front of a keel?
No, what they'll do is they'll tie a rope around your waist
Yeah.
and your arms, throw you overboard with a weight, and run you along the bottom of the ship
Right, this
where all the
segment is
barnacles
brought to
are.
you by,
So how did it start with walking the plank? Was that just
That's
from
just
a
something
movie?
that was in
a movie?
It's a movie.
Peter Pan, and then
Oh,
it was
okay.
then it makes it in everything else.
Sally, you asked the best questions.
That's good. I didn't know I knew that much about pirates.
Nice job, Michael. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very nice. All right, Sally, what do you got cooking?
I have my book coming, which is actually out, but unfortunately, and I'm saying it wherever I can, if you want to buy Call Me Zena, and you go onto Amazon, you're going to see it says ages 9 to 12. We're in the middle of getting that corrected, so please don't. You can still buy it. It's not for children, but it's still advertised that way. So the more I get it out, maybe Amazon will change it.
So now that you travel more and your phone takes random pictures by itself in the middle of the night.
Absolutely,
Do you
thank
have
you. That's
updates
more
for your books?
Am I what?
Do you have any updates for the books?
Any updates at all?
Like things that you know what, I wrote this.
That's
and
exactly right, because they're still working on the second book. May I give that story?
Of course.
Yeah, I have a picture of it. Strange things happen to me and anybody that I know. It follows on with the people that I know. My camera actually took a picture last night. My
what was
bathroom
that?
is off my bedroom, and my bathroom door was slightly open, and I have a big mirror in there. And I woke up this morning with a picture on a plain mirror, but there was a light, and the weirdest thing came out.
Wait, you took this picture?
No, it
Someone
happened
else
in the
took
middle
this
of the night.
picture.
I didn't.
What time did that picture happen?
I don't know. It was probably, I went to sleep about
There's a
10.
timestamp on it.
I'm going to check, because what I did is I enlarged that, so it may be a time on the original one.
How
which I
big was
haven't-
it?
It was the size of a picture.
How do you know Steve didn't take a picture of you?
No,
Of what?
no.
You don't know that?
Well, it's not that. It's the design.
This was your
Nobody
mirror?
could have done this. This is on a mirror. It came
That's
up
called
on a mirror.
refraction. That's it
But
probably
there's nothing
flashed.
to
and-
reflect. There is nothing to reflect. That came up.
Isn't that a mirror?
That's a mirror, but there was no. It was dark. There's nothing to reflect.
Well, it looks to me like there's a person there.
It looks like several people, actually, if you enlarge
Well,
it.
I don't know about several. I sure as hell see one. I think it's
Steve.
Steve.
No, unfortunately, he's not feeling well.
I said
so he
Steve was a pirate. He was looking for his buried treasure.
They don't share a bathroom.
There was
She has
nobody
her
in
own
my
bathroom.
bedroom. Nobody.
The bathroom. The phone was in the bathroom,
No, it was on the side of my dresser here.
and you were laying next to it.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I
so
didn't. I don't.
so
take
how do we
pictures
know
in-
that you didn't sleepwalk?
But even if I did, why would that
Sleepwalk.
show up?
What
I
is
didn't.
that?
Because she took the picture. She's sleepwalking.
Who does that?
Her.
I can't even do
Her.
Does she take pictures when she sleepwalks?
No, but
That's
I've
what I'm
never
saying.
slept.
the fridge and leaves it open.
I've absolutely never slept walked to the best of my
Listen,
knowledge.
I knew a girl once who sleepwalked and she played the piano. You know how eerie that is? And you would think that the music will wake her up, right?
No, I'm not
You
a
sleepwalk.
I am not a sleepwalker.
Yeah, how do you know you're sleeping?
Well, I've had
I'm going to
relationships.
I'm going to tie your feet together and I bet you'll fall on your face and wake up and
But
says,
even-
what's going on?
let's
You should
say-
start
let's
recording
use
how
this
you
as an
sleep.
Example.
Yeah.
Even if I had, how does something show up in a mirror? I mean, there is
Because
no
you
way.
were sleepwalking and you decided to pick up your phone.
But there's a big green thing
and you're
coming
walking
down.
around. No, I'm gonna tell you what's
Big
in.
green thing
What I'm,
and the white
We
what
have
I'm,
to show it to
what
the
I'm
audience.
impressed with is that you hit the picture button, and you walked around like this,
That's what I'm saying.
and you hit it.
We need
and
to show the audience,
And
'cause they
because
wonder
it's
what on earth we're
moving,
talking
the refraction in the movie, in the
But there's a line with a big, like a cord coming all the way down in green. It's hard to describe it. But then there's little lights all in it.
Well, obviously there's something
Well,
wrong
you know
with
what? If anybody watches Call Me Zena, or listens to my show that's watching now, I'm going to post it on the Call Me
Just post
Zena
it in
on
your,
Facebook.
on your social media.
Yeah, I'm going to. Because it sounds ridiculous. This whole conversation would sound ridiculous.
That's all right.
without
I'm trying
seeing
to
the
find a new
picture.
home for the Virgin Mary. So Freddie's got car washes with mermaids. So already who knows what we're doing today.
Car washing with mermaids. You know, you make fun of everything I say. I'm getting people texting me. They love it.
I'm sure they do.
Come on down.
James likes the idea too.
I just heard from my niece, who I sent it to too. She puts the two lines in the picture, maybe a number 11. If so, you have two spirits there. She thought there was a 5.
Actually, Miss Nee, she has 11 spirits because if this woman walks
But
around.
11 is my number, 1111.
That's
Wow.
what it is. You got 11 Steves in your life.
No.
No, one is enough.
All right.
Hi, Steve, if you're listening.
Sally will be here tomorrow doing a show called Inside the Artist's Mind with Jay Harmon. Surprise guest. We'll see who it is.
A surprise.
Surprise to me, too. Surprise to Freddie right now, too.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Oh, you do? You could think, like, remember The Masked Singer?
Yeah.
You're like a surprise guest.
You want a masked singer?
No, surprise
I gave you a
guest.
pirate.
I got a pirate. All right, we got Casey joining us before we wrap up. She's going to be talking about Monday nights. We have an event that we do at 388 by Mr. Sal, Italian restaurant right on Federal Highway, south of Spanish River, between Spanish River and Glades. All right, Casey, what do you got cooking?
All right, so we do the Brooklyn Cafe after hours every Monday night from 5:30 to 7. There's live music, sometimes a DJ. This past Monday we had Motions and Motown, there we go. They did their show Decades, which they're doing tomorrow.
Up in Melbourne.
Okay, yeah.
At Tavern by the Green.
And then next week, I'm trying to get Megan Falcon, who's a singer. She's come in here and sang a few times. If I can't get her next week, she said she's more than welcome to come whenever she's available on Mondays. And then I'm hoping to come next Monday. We can do more celebrations.
That was your first
more
time there.
eating.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, the food was really good. I loved the appetizers. They had really good plating. I enjoyed how management and the servers were all really
And that's
friendly
big
to
because
us.
you work in a restaurant.
Yeah. It's definitely competition because people. It's definitely competition because my managers and the chefs don't know about that restaurant. So.
How did you like the food? Because you tasted
I really
the food.
liked it.
It was
I really
good?
liked it. Yeah.
Because she cooks and she bakes and she works in a restaurant, an Italian restaurant. So I wanted to ask her to send an invitation
It's
for
really
everybody
well
to come.
designed. I like the neon lighting and the wallpaper. It gives a real like modern young flow. So it gives more of an entertainment for Boca, I feel, especially in the area because it's more of an mature community, I'd say.
That's a nice way to phrase it.
Yeah.
And Sally was with us at the table. How'd you like
and
it?
I have to agree, the appetizers were really good, especially
Amazing.
the mushrooms.
Delicious.
And
Everything was
G-Man
great.
was there eating and doing video and doing all sorts of... now, you've been there a couple of times.
They
with
gave us good drinks to try too.
The drinks?
How'd you like that espresso martini,
Oh,
Jean?
my God. What happened
It
to
kept you up?
Kept him up. He was...
Nothing affects this man.
He was talking a million miles a minute.
He was breaking the space-time continuum.
He was talking... I have never seen G-Man talk so much as of that night. He was
Because
like,
an espresso
we
martini
hopping.
is to keep you from, you know how you have your coffee after a good dinner? That's what
But
that is.
him and I have had coffee plenty of times. I've never seen him coffee that way.
makes their espresso martinis different.
Is that what it was? You were delirious?
Exactly.
Delirious?
Perfect word.
He probably didn't eat that much that day, so he just went straight to the martini.
Probably didn't sleep that much that day.
He didn't. And he still had to drive home.
I was going to reach that. All right, we also have to thank Pizza Rica because today is Pizza Rica Thursday. So get your pies at Pizza Rica, located right on 20th Street and 2nd Avenue.
Second Ave. Any specials for him that you heard of?
I think it's just $6 for two slices.
Two slices.
And a drink?
Two
$6?
slices for $6 and a drink, or an entire pie for $12. So
That's today's specials, or is that always?
always
Always.
take out specials. Cash and carry, $12 for an entire pie.
And these pizzas are pretty good.
Amazing pizza.
Well, I'm going to tell you, they're bringing 2 pies here on Thursday. It's pretty good. We should go over there with Mr. Pirate. We should invade different regions, like they used to invade properties. We go to different businesses. We walk with swords.
Well, actually, next Saturday, I'm going to be going to this Ren Fair at a local brewery in Fort Lauderdale.
A local brewery.
It's all the way in Fort Lauderdale. It's called the Fort Lauderdale Brewery.
For a lot of ale. Got it?
So they're going to have like a mini Ren Fair down there, and I'm going to film that whole thing for you guys.
Really cool. You should let them know that we're going to be headed. But I would like this whole pirate thing and invading different businesses. I can get into that.
All right, more to come. Have a great afternoon, everyone. James, thank you. Sally, as always. Mike, nice job to the crew and our new crew. Amazing, and thank you to Pizza Rica.
Did we put Alex's piece done or not done?
we're going to see if we got another.
So we have a contest, a karaoke contest going on right now in Melbourne. No? Okay, so we'll play it tomorrow. But we have a contest in Melbourne right now. First prize is actually hanging out with us. I don't know why that's first prize. But you and I are going up there, hopefully with crew, and we're going to judge the winner. And we have actually a tape of the first contestants and the 2 winners, which is hilarious. But Alex has to finish it up. We'll play it tomorrow.
All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. We're here tonight. We've got shows all night long. Gypsy Soul, All County, You and Your Doctor, Making Money with Laura Sanders, and JC Dreesen. So if you're in the area, come on down. If you're at the Dolphin game, go
Good luck with that.
We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.